everybody, it is the King of Anime podcast. We are back. This time with a smooth count in with a 2 and then a 1. Although you guys didn't hear the 3 because I was too late on that. But we are live here with the King of Anime podcast, and sadly, someone couldn't make it this week. The Sea Tactics could not make it.
Ah, that poor Sea Tactics.
Right.
That's all right. We don't need that lolicon.
Yeah. He's doing bigger and better things now. He's in Alice in Chains.
I don't think you guys should be talking about, Sea Tactics like that. I really don't. Shouldn't be doing that.
Why?
Perfect opportunity. He's not here.
I was gonna say he can't defend himself.
I don't know. It's just he's really awesome, and you shouldn't do that.
Why? Are you his biggest fan or something?
No, not at all. A little bit.
Then why are you defending him?
Maybe I am him, and you know what I forgot to do again for like the 3rd week in a row? The Community King of Anime.
That's
God
a thing.
Damn it! Well, it's not. It's not a thing right now.
I say we should just kill it since Sea Tactics keeps forgetting it. Another reason we don't like him.
Oh my god. I am the Sea Tactics. These are my guests, co-hosts. Not guests, definitely not guests. Co-hosts. Introduce yourself.
It is I, everything animated. Back at it again.
Oh man. That was beautiful. There's some sound effects right there. You had some reverb. That's nice.
Well, it is I, Sasuke the Savage, back from Miami. Pretty cool. Waifus. No cocaine though. That was a little exaggeration. Not this time. Maybe next time.
How do you just do cocaine maybe next time?
Hey, sometimes you get too busy. Women,
yeah.
I mean, like I said, women on each arm, and then they just offer the coke. You're just like, nah, I'll pass.
I don't think that. I think if you do cocaine, I don't think you skip out on it when it's offered.
Well, I mean, you can.
You can, for sure. And it's recommended because cocaine's bad for you. My mommy told me not to do it. So I'm not going to do it. That's just the way. Why are we talking?
I saw a person who got his nasal cavity removed because he did a whole bunch of years of coke.
Oh yeah,
that was such a sick video. It was all black and brown.
Hey man,
they removed it through his nose.
Cocaine
is a hell of a drug.
It is a hell of a drug. It ain't nothing to mess with. And you know what else ain't nothing to mess with? The party being over. Because Dororo episode 15, the story of the something, Sabame sacrificed his humanity and the lives of all the children in the village to keep his village. Even going as far as to trap Dororo. But Dororo is eventually saved by the spirits of those murdered children. Pretty light stuff. Very happy episode this episode is. Yakimaru then fights a demon moth thing and takes it down pretty easily. And Dororo does some stuff. And then Dororo at the end of the episode is found out by that guy who betrayed him. His father something. Dororo episode 15. Yeah. What do you guys think about it?
This is the first episode. Well, it's not the first episode that I was add on, but I didn't like this episode that much, to be honest with you. And the first thing is the animation, and listen, I'm not keen for animation at all, but there were a couple of times I just noticed where things look pretty bland. There were times where characters' faces weren't even fully detailed at all on 4 different occasions, and there was a scene where Dororo is running towards Yakimaru and he's getting nowhere for a whole 5 seconds. He's just running in place like he's on a treadmill. And But as for what actually happened in the story, it was just. I mean, I'm cool with the episodic stuff, but I didn't really like the execution of the conclusion. I like the conclusion because it ended with them kind of realizing like we may have fucked up here because the whole village burned down. But I wish we would have got more of the villagers' reactions towards Hyakimaru and Dororo. It was kind of like, they were in the middle of the village, so I was expecting the villagers to attack them or something like that. That didn't really happen. The way Hyakimaru defeated the demon was weird because I don't even know what the hell happened.
Yeah, they didn't really animate it in super detail, but like kind of just stabbed it and it died.
Yeah, and even with the first attack that he did, like he was on the ground, right? And then he did like a slide. They had like a slash animation, and then somehow the moth got cut. And I'm like, wait, how did that happen? They didn't show him jumping. The animation was like, it did not convey what was happening on screen, and it was like very weird to say the least.
This episode's getting a retouch in the Blu-ray release. I agree like with pretty much every single thing that you said. The key animation was not only terrible, but the in-between animations were probably worse. Some of them were just blurs. And some of the screenshots you will see in the slideshow show that pretty well, because it was inescapable, this whole episode. Just, I don't want to say it's like they intentionally did it or anything like that. Like, I'm not being, I don't know, I'm not trying to be too harsh, because animation is very hard to do and people kill themselves for this medium. So I understand that. But man, right now on the screen, if you're a viewer, you saw right there, it just did not look good at all.
It was weak. Sorry, I'm eating.
That's it.
But
I like it.
Yeah, I agree too. This was probably one of the more boring episodes, to be honest. Even the episode with I don't know. I always felt like in the past they could make these side stories pretty interesting, even with characters we've just met that episode. But this one, Baby Num Num saves the day, and we're just left with everybody dying. Like you said, it's I don't know.
I like some of the things they explored. God, you can see on the screen right now if you're watching on the stream, and that moth looks bad. Looks like a Pokemon. I like some of the things they explored this anime.
Moth.
What Pokemon is that? I like some of the topics they explored. The giant baby thing that has all the spirits of the dead children as like a physical manifestation of that. I thought that was interesting. And then Dororo being guided by the spirits of the murdered children. I thought that was super interesting. And just like, as well, like these insect creatures living in the, like, kind of like, not literally, but like living in the bodies of these humans. It's just really interesting. But the execution just wasn't that good. This is okay episode. Like, it's probably, I don't know, the worst thing I watched this week out of all of the episodes we watched for this show. That's personally speaking.
No, that comes later.
God, what's...
Oh, really?
Really?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know. I actually I have no idea.
Oh shit! I know. Never mind.
Mm-hmm,
Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Now I know.
Oh God. I don't know. It was a fine episode, I guess. We didn't get too much development one way or the other on anything. It felt like a retread of the last couple episodes and the first season. What I hope the show does is, as it moves forward, it relies less and less on these episodic kind of little adventures, which I don't think it will go away from that completely. But more of like we're on episode 15 right now. We're getting towards the end. We got like 10 or so episodes left, so let's speed this up a little bit. I also thought it was cool he got his spine back, and his spine wasn't even real.
He was spineless.
How? God damn it! How did he move so well like that with a fake spine?
Effort.
I want to say what I find strange is he had his legs and his skin and all these other things, and yet he had no spine. That's pretty amazing.
Do you think that when he gets his pancreas back, he'll be like, that's useless, and he'll just take it right back out?
Oh, God.
I mean, he'll have to go to the bathroom a lot more, but other than that...
I love it.
Does he even
pee? Does he even have a pee-pee?
I mean, he eats, so, like, does he pee? Does he poo?
I mean, we haven't seen anything on screen, so it's not verified.
That'll be in the OVA.
Oh, God. No,
because the OVA
I do want to say... Oh, go ahead.
All the OVA is, the stereotypical OVA is that it's all fan service, right?
Oh, yeah. Beach episodes.
OVAs mean nothing anymore.
High School of the Dead OVA.
That's when that meant something. Until it didn't.
Yep.
But I was going to say that this episode did like a good thing was like the parallel between Sabami and Daigo, obviously, because they both were sacrificing basically their souls and other people for the sake of their, in this case, it was for, and it was kind of crazy because Sabami sacrificed much more. He was sacrificing the lives of children, that lady in a fire, for the small village that wasn't even that prosperous, as opposed to Daigo, who sacrificed the life of his son for his land, which is vast. He has a whole bunch of land and is doing great, apparently. He's losing that now, but is doing great. But you can see it in Hyakimaru looking into his soul or whatever, and you see it's white. You see the white, but then you see the black streaks, I guess you want to say. So that kind of shows me that when they have like when their soul looks like that, they are doing bad, but it's for good intentions. All right. So now I guess this episode is kind of like a snapshot of what might happen in the future, because before Hyakimaru, when he saw something like that where he was kind of confused, because he was confused, he was like, I don't know if this guy is good or bad, but he attacked him either way. He like kicked him off the goddamn cliff. So he might try to kill Daigo. All right. So I think that's that was kind of like the purpose of this episode, sort of, kind of. And then at the end, we see Itachi show up, and he's like, where's the other half of that map, boy? And
yeah, I noticed Dororo was very easy to just leave Hyakimaru. He does one thing wrong, and he's like, you know what, forget you. And then he just leaves. I'm like, wow, that didn't take long, did it?
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, that was another weird thing. It was just like he left without saying anything. Like, if he was going to leave, it would kind of make more sense if he like told him off and left. But he just, like, even Hyakimaru didn't even notice. He was like, oh shit, where's Dororo?
Yeah, I just found that to be very strange. Like, you've been with him through thick and thin, and he got all his limbs back, and now all of a sudden it means something because people are doing it to make their land better? I don't know. It just didn't feel right to me.
She even calls him Aniki all the time. like they're tight.
Yeah, bro. Anaki!
That's the best thing about this show. Yeah, I mean, yeah. You know, when everything's left in ruin, they literally burn down the whole village. And they have to like confront themselves and be like, did we even do the right thing here? Was all of this worth it? Like, what were like, yeah, they did a bunch of terrible things, but we destroyed their lives. And I think that's an interesting topic to explore. Because if you think about it, Hyakimaru is kind of like a representation of the way things should have originally been. Like so he's the guy who comes and sets things right, I guess. Whether you like it or not, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And I like that about him. He's not he's got some shades of gray in there in the way he thinks and acts. I like that.
Yeah. I don't know. To me, I feel like they could do a better job of explaining that.
Oh, I agree.
Because I understand what they're trying to do. And it would be interesting if they were to do it right. It's just, I don't know. I care so much about Hyakimaru. I want him to basically get everything back and forget everything else. And you have Dororo's like, no, you shouldn't do that. And it's like, why not? Like I said, it just all gung ho. All of a sudden, it's almost as if they're trying to do the whole yin and yang, and I don't know, the alchemy.
Full Metal Alchemist thing. So is that where we're going? Oh no! Is EA roboting?
Oh no. Well, I did want to say this. I do find it interesting.
What it's called.
Oh shit.
Oh god. You went into a portal, EA. You went to a different dimension. Oh no, it's happening again. Sasuke, continue.
All right, we gotta fight off Kid Buu. All right. What I was going to say was what I find interesting about this whole thing is what the old man said to Dororo. What is his name? I think it's Biwa Maru. I think that's his name. He said to him that killing demons wasn't going to change the world. And when he said that, I was thinking, what? Yes, it is. I mean, like, we're talking about demons here, and they're going off killing people. But in some cases, these deals with the demons are literally keeping humanity intact. And as weird as it sounds, they might need this evil in the world. And Hyakimaru going around disrupting everything isn't going to help every village. In some cases, yes, it's going to help the villagers, but it's not going to help every time. We see it in this case where the village literally burnt down, and these villagers are going to have to start over from ground one. And I think the problem Dororo has with Hyakimaru isn't the fact that this happened, it's the fact that Hyakimaru seems not to care. He said, this village is not my concern. So what I do think that's going to end up happening is because we have this treasure map thing now in place, I think that's going to be the key to have the lands prosper, depending on what the treasure is. Probably like a shit ton of money. We don't know for sure, but that's probably what it is. So after Hyakimaru takes his body and Daigo's land like goes into complete ruin, because it will after that, I think the money is going to be the thing that builds it right back up. And then, you know, so they don't just leave, they don't just go everywhere, cause destruction, and then just leave it at that. You know, the money will be used so they will be able to further prosper.
Right.
I like that idea. Equivalent exchange was the word I was looking for, by the way.
Is this bathroom EA?
This is little bathroom EA while I'm working on restarting my damn modem.
I love it. Let's talk about. Wait. We gotta pass and kill this. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm passing it.
We're killing this finally.
No. I'm passing it. This is. I mean, it's fine. Episode. It's sloppy. as we've come to find out during our little discussion here. So,
Are these wet?
I would say this is a pass. I mean, even Dororo at his worst is a lot better than other shit we've watched in the past. Like,
Goblin
yes,
Slayer.
so pass. Pass.
And also something we're going to be watching in May.
Oh,
Was that
God.
a tease for the thing?
Mm-hmm.
All I'm gonna say is it's a meaty show, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
So meaty.
Let's talk about One Punch Man.
Okay, I guess you don't care about my
Oh
opinion.
god
Let's see how
damn
is.
it! Ah fuck! I do this all the time. I always forget someone. EA, what are you giving us? Cliffhanger.
Okay. Maybe he's angry.
Let's talk about One Punch Man. Season 2, episode 3, or episode 15? Garo takes out the Job Squad and Moomin Rider with ease. Saitama pays the injured heroes a visit with some gifts, and then takes out Garo with one hit. Saitama,
One punch.
Saitama then tries to buy a wig. This anime sucks. It's a slideshow.
Wait, I gotta clarify something. That wasn't a damn punch. That was a chop.
It was a chop, yes.
Oh. Well, then one chop.
Yeah. What did you give Dororo? Pass or kill?
Yeah, I'm passing it. Whatever.
Fuck it.
I like this episode. This episode was pretty fun. Had Garo just coming out of nowhere, and just also had Moomin Rider.
He
Which is
RKO
great.
out of nowhere.
We this is like the episode we got to see Garo's abilities really, show off. He can basically counter anything, which is just crazy. And not only counter it, but the counters are much more powerful than the original attacks. I hope I'm right in saying that, right? Is that what happened?
Okay, I think everything.
Yeah.
I think everything's back to normal.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got to see the tank top guy. I think his name's Tank Top or something like that. I can't remember.
Tank top
tank.
master.
Tank
Tank top
Master.
vegetarian.
And then the
Lot of
zebra
tank.
guy from the first season. And then of course Moomin Rider, which is always nice to see him there. They all get destroyed by Garo. At first, it seems like they're just gonna annihilate him. I'm like, what? Like, what's happening here? They're owning this guy, and then he's just like, nah, and then just destroys him. At first, I thought he killed Moomin Rider, and I was like, oh no, not Moomin Rider.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Moomin Rider's terrible now.
Oh.
Oh,
I hate him now because he did the whole thing that I hate. Don't kill him, even though he's killing heroes.
oh yeah.
Even
No,
though
yeah, you're
Garo's
right.
killing heroes, don't kill him. You're better than that. And it's like, he's gonna kill you. And sure enough, he got his face smashed in. I'm like, keep smashing his face in. Serves him right.
Gosh dang. Poor guy.
Sorry. I had to say that because when I saw that, I was like, not you, Moomin Rider.
Don't worry though. He's got a helmet on, so he's fine.
So he's safe.
He's safe. He wore his helmet. Moomin Rider is all about safety. Turns out that Moomin stands for safety. It
I
doesn't.
thought it meant like licenseless rider. I thought that was like the. I don't.
Well, it turns out he's not about safety. Fuck the government. That's his opinion.
Is that right?
Maybe. But I like this episode. Reading the manga, like I love the fight between Garo and Tank Top Master. One thing about Garo, because with Tank Top Master, he's a S class. He's the lowest S class. He's S class rank 17. But in his fight, you see Garo struggle, and then he counters, and then he beats him. But I think at his level, where Garo is kind of like hard to power scale Garo right now because he took out someone like Tank Top Master. But one thing to be noted is that his fighting style is specifically to beat humans. It's not really geared towards monsters. He still can take down monsters, but is really to take down other heroes with the I think it's called like flowing water. I think that was the technique. And you have the whole setup of Bang and Bomb going to take him down. And I don't think we'll get to that this season, but that's something to look forward to.
Bang and Bong. So Inuyashiki comes back in the form.
Bong.
I just now I want to hear Inuyashiki just go oh and just make a bunch of weird noises. We need to stop talking about that show. This show's much better. I love it when Saitama goes to the hospital and he's bringing everybody bananas. This is great. Also, what is the guy Charuka?
Charanko. I believe it. Yeah, I think that's his name. But
will we see more of him in the show? I wonder, because he didn't seem to have any importance in this show, but they felt the need to introduce him. So I wonder if he'll be like kind of like a side character or something like that for the rest of the season.
Saitama's taking his place in the tournament.
I was going to say his name is going to be brought up again for sure.
Well, there you go. The
$3 million. $3 million.
God, I actually don't even have anything else to say. This episode was just awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of funny to see how the association deals with Garo, because he's just running around like bodying any heroes, and they really don't have, like, when a monster show up, they show up and they attack people indiscriminately. They just, and they make a huge ruckus and whatnot. But this time you have somebody who's a human, so he can walk around day to day. Nobody really notices anything until he attacks. So the association doesn't really know how to deal with him. And we even seen, I don't know if it was this episode or the previous episode, they were more concerned with hero names than taking down Garo, which, like, they were like, Kate Baldy, like, I forgot the other nickname. I think that was it. But they spent like 5 minutes on the issue of Garo taking down all of the people where the other guy had the whole recruiting thing at. So that kind of shows you where the association's head is at in a situation, but that's why you have people like Bang and Bomb taking action.
I just remembered something. There's this weird scene where Garo hangs out with this little kid, and he's like, sees, like, this kid has like a book of all the heroes, and he's like, man, we should have one with monsters in them. I want to be in that one. And that was just a weird scene, but it showed like Garo isn't exactly all there. He's kind of a little eccentric, a little crazy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
They did not show. I don't know if it's going to be brought back up. So it's not really anything deep at all. It's not a big spoiler, but before, they kind of explain why Garo is the way he is, why he wants to hunt heroes and whatnot. And they kind of gave you a glimpse of it when he was talking to the kid in the park. It was just kind of like he's really interested in monsters, and he kind of resents the fact that monsters always lose in stuff like comics and TV shows and shit like that. So he's like, why do monsters always lose? I want them to win one time. So that's kind of like why he's doing, it's not deep at all, but that's why he's doing what he's doing now. And he identifies as a monster.
That's kind of interesting.
Don't they call him the Monster Garo?
I think they do.
That's That's so interesting.
What I love, as always, Saitama. No matter how much they build up the monsters or the creatures or what they are, as soon as they come up to Saitama, well, in this case, one chop does them in, no matter what.
Yeah, Saitama.
You trying to rob me?
That was so funny. You trying to rob me? Get out of my way! Oh, boom! He just falls down. But hey, at least he didn't explode. So that shows you how strong he is.
That's yeah. Saitama has really nice control of his power, though. It's like he and
does he though?
And some of the
killed the Sea King like nothing.
He also swatted
like,
that ladybug and turned her into blood. She's a painting on the side of the building, instantly. But I think there are some scenes in season 1 where he only love taps people, and it does a lot of damage, but it doesn't kill him.
He grabs that one guy's hands. And he's like, I give. He's like, I'm barely doing anything to you. Are you kidding me?
Or when he's playing on a game console and he breaks the button.
And he's like, oh, it broke. His attitude's always so funny. I know you missed the conversation last week, Sasuke, but when he was totally being a dick to, what was it, the Blizzard lady? That was
Fubuki.
Oh, Fubuki.
Yeah, that was
Blizzard Bobs.
Hilarious. Yeah, Blizzard Bobs.
Hellish Bobs.
Who happens to be the younger sister of the older sister who's smaller.
Yes.
Tatsumaki's great. I wonder, we need to see more of her in this season. Oh, God damn it, I just realized what I'm saying. What are we giving this?
We're not brushing past that, Lolicon.
No, I am not a lolicon. Tatsumaki's legit cool.
Did we all see the preview of what's to come next?
I did. I don't remember I can't remember what it is.
All I want to say is get hype for Metal Bat. That's it.
Oh, Metal Bat's awesome. He took on that weird morphing creature thing in season 1. It was cool.
Yeah, Metal's a guard, that nasty thing.
Is that next week's episode? Because that's the name of it.
Yep, Metal Bat.
Oh, yeah,
sweet. Right. Can't wait.
Metal Bat's great.
I like the animation, by the way. People complaining about it are dummies.
We should talk about that. Just touch on that a little bit, because we'll probably be doing it every week, anyways. But people are still with their panties in a bunch about this show. I don't understand it. Sure, I mean, I guess it's not as good as Madhouse. It's still good though. Come on.
I like it.
It's fine. It's nothing to get angry about.
No. I agree.
I'm sure in everyone's review, and rightfully so, there will be a section where people talk about it and are like, it's not as good as Madhouse.
This animation.
So, everyone's going to talk about it. It's ridiculous.
It's how people talk.
It's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, what are we giving this? Kill?
An extremely raging hard pass.
Same for me.
Same. I can't kill this. It's one punch. It's one point. Come on.
One punch.
Let's talk about someone who doesn't kill people in one punch. Well, actually, maybe I can't remember how many. I don't think it was a punch. Shield Hero episode 16. Filolio Queen. Fatoria, the Fallopian Queen, arrives and destroys the awful CGI T-Rex. Oddly enough, turns the T-Rex back into physical 2D animation to kill it. Mine is also back to her usual meddling, and Fatoria wants to go against all 4 of the heroes. Find out in this exciting episode of Dragon Ball Z.
What I
Is-
just want to ask everything animated. Is this the anime that was worse than Dororo,
Yep.
or is it? Okay, go ahead then.
All right. Hopefully, I don't cut out. We have birds taking on Tyrannosaurus rexes. We have birds that are 6,000 feet tall that can turn into lollies.
Fat chocobo.
Fat chocobos. Choking. I want to choke myself after watching this, and it's just like, I don't know. Who is this lolly now? All of a sudden, she's wanting to destroy the world now.
She's the Filolio queen.
What does that even mean?
She's the queen of all the Filolials.
She's the queen of birds.
Literally, yes.
That's lame. Sorry. That's just lame.
I don't.
So you telling me all of those fat birds, including Lollybird, is she's a queen, and then she wants to make the blonde the next runner-up or something, or not the runner-up, but the heir to the throne.
So what's happening here is...
What does the throne look like? Is it a big giant nest? Is it a bird?
It's a big bucket of KFC.
Why would it be KFC? Because that would mean that it's a bunch of dead birds.
Because that's what happens after they die. They get turned into Kentucky Fried Chicken. They have a Kentucky Fried Chicken reference in this episode.
Yes.
Someone, I think it's Naofumi says something about a KFC farm.
Yeah, and then they all looked at him.
Screenshot.
I don't know what you're talking about. This episode was not animation wise fucking terrible. I love this episode because a giant fat bird from Final Fantasy VII. By the way, if you've never played Final Fantasy VII, if you have the Chocobo thing equipped, there at random times a big giant fat Chocobo will just plop onto the screen and instantly kill the enemy. This is that equivalent of happening in this show. This is the giant fat Chocobo plopping down on the screen and killing the enemy, literally, because it happens. That's what happens. And then she turns into a person, and I don't care about that part, but she's a fat bird, man. It's great.
Big ass bird.
I love it.
No.
It was funny when the Philos showed up, whatever the fuck. When they showed up and they surrounded the disgusting CGI dinosaur, they try to make it so dramatic, but I'm just looking at these birds. I was like, I'm not terrified of these birds. They look like multicolored Power Ranger birds.
They look like Peeps.
Yes! Oh my god, yes! Thank you! It looked like fucking Easter. It looked like a leftover, like a special Easter episode. And then she also has the carriage. What? This is, oh my god. This is stupid.
Yeah.
I love this
it was just the look of it wasn't. It was nothing that made me go, oh shit. It's the Philo birds. Like, no.
Oh no. Not the Philo birds.
God.
I do have to give her credit because, taking out the CGI dinosaur was thank you, because oh god, when it first showed up in the previous episode, my mouth was just open. I was like, I could not believe it. I was like, are we doing this again? Because we had the CGI ship and I thought that was bad. Can we not do that again?
And the CGI Iron Maiden.
Oh god. Oh, I forgot about that. Damn it. And they used that animation twice.
And
Yeah.
CGI Philo.
Oh yeah. But that's not as egregious because that doesn't really it's not there for that long, but the dinosaur was just every second running into buildings. Oh god, that was
Okay.
Oof.
There is a lot of it's primarily bad animation, but we also have to give a shout out to there's a couple scenes in here that are like really, really well animated, and you got to give them credit. There's some scenes where Raftalia is running towards the CGI abomination, and it's really well animated. Part of like some of the like I don't know, this is great. It's great looking. And Kinema Citrus, they're struggling with this one, really, really bad. And I can see why. They're a really poorly managed anime studio, taking on a 26 episode series based off a mega popular light novel. So it makes sense they're struggling a little bit. But it's not like there was, even though the animation, undoubtedly, this is the worst animation of the season right now, probably, that we're watching on this show. Even though it's pretty
Damn
bad,
Big Bird.
especially this episode, there are still some things you can take away from it and go, okay, that's good, that's fine. But yeah, no, fuck that T-Rex, man. That T-Rex is terrible. I know what they were thinking. They were thinking we can cut down on budget a little bit here, which is fine. And they probably couldn't have done it 2D animation, knowing once again how poorly managed that studio is. So there's much better episodes ahead of us. I promise you.
Yeah,
I hope so.
yeah, hopefully so.
Because
The finale, the last.
fool me once with the spa episode, fool me twice with birds raging.
Oh no, okay. So this episode was worse than the spa episode. Because that
Amen.
actually,
I agree with that.
even though they both of these episodes have things that are happening very important to the story, this episode, you didn't need this episode. You didn't need the T-Rex thing at all. Like you could have cut it out and had Vittoria go, "There's a disturbance in the force," and then she just goes to Philo. Could have done that. And admittedly, this fight is much cooler in the manga. Yeah. The ending to so I now know what the ending to the show is. It's really fucking good. It's really good, you guys. And when it ends, you're gonna be like, I want a season 2. That's how good it is.
Well,
I do want to talk a little bit about Vittoria because I don't really understand her. I don't understand how she got to that conclusion. She said, "You 4 heroes are fighting. You shouldn't be fighting." Nafumi goes, "Well, I'm being unfairly prosecuted. Everybody hates me, including the heroes. What do you want me to do?" And then she goes, "Oh yeah, shield heroes have had a past of that happening to them." And then Nafumi goes, "Yeah, right. I know. I feel that feel." And then she goes, "Well, if you guys don't stop fighting, I'm going to kill all of you."
I mean,
And then-
that went to the extreme.
Yeah, it's kind of like, isn't that just a tad bit counterproductive? I mean, if you want to save humanity, maybe you don't kill the 4 cardinal heroes. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, I
you're
absolutely thought that was dumb. Because I agree, Nafumi has no other choice. He's like, yeah, they well, since they seem to not have it, not want to work with you, instead, let's just kill you.
Yeah, it's just like, it's like, all right, fuck it. If you're not going to play nice, fuck it.
That's basically like saying, well, we have a house infestation of cockroaches. Well, let's burn it to the ground. Let's burn the whole house down.
I don't remember where this story thread goes, so yeah, I don't
I mean,
at all. But that's I probably there's a reason why I probably don't remember, so probably bad.
seeing what happened in this episode where we see the spear here, oh, not the spear, fuck the spear. Where we see the goddamn bow hero and the sword hero, they're trying to find more information about this whole church thing, and they're eventually going to get on Nafumi's side, okay? So they're going to make up. I don't know about the spear guy. I think it's going to take him literally seeing mine admit that she's a fucking evil bitch for him to go, oh, all right, maybe I should team up with Nafumi and stop being a lolicon and other stuff. But yeah,
This is probably a bad transition for me, or just saying this in general is probably really dangerous. But Fatoria's design is really good. I
Who's
like
that?
I agree. I
the
agree.
fat chocobo chick when she turns into her human form. She's got a really good design.
You mean the fact that she talks like this the
That's-
whole time?
That could be worked on, but
I
her
am
character
going to
design,
destroy the heroes.
it's like Wish Bobs from Goblin Slayer.
Oh, yeah.
Finishes
I
every
think she's
sentence with
worse.
blowing smoke in the person's face.
I'm gonna reach into my boobs and grab a map. Here you go.
What are we giving this? This one, I kind of want to kill it,
I do. Kill it.
but I don't want to kill the whole show, so I'm gonna pass it because the show ends really. This show's great. It has a great ending.
All right. Well, this episode gets a kill from me.
It's up to you, Satsuki. Are we
It's up to me.
killing Shield Hero?
Well, because of my love for Mine, and we didn't get her too much, and I need to see more, we're passing.
Oh
All
man.
right.
God, you're gonna love. God, you guys are gonna love the ending to the show. Oh my God,
Is
I
it
don't
a
think
happy
I
ending?
will.
it's
I
a
don't think I will.
it's not a happy ending for some people. Carol in Tuesday, episode 3, Fire and Rain. That's a James Taylor reference.
Yeah.
The girls get a new
I love
manager
that
in
song,
Gus
too.
Johnson, which is a YouTuber, by the way. If you guys don't know who Gus Johnson is great. And he was the former manager of a one-hit wonder and the former drummer of a rip-off Motorhead outfit called Lazy Sandwich. That was a nice tidbit they put in. But Gus is able to land the girls a meeting with Mars's #1 DJ, Artegun. But things don't turn out as planned when Tuesday makes a little bit of a scene. QRW6 also gives Shield Hero a pass.
Cool. Thank you, QRW6.
I just want to say
Oh, I love this show. This is probably my favorite series of the season. To be honest with you, I love the music first and foremost. But talking about this episode first, I want to say I knew Gus was going to be the manager.
But
Like,
you were right. But I was also right in saying he's totally a drummer because he was a drummer.
yes,
We were
That
both
is a fact.
right.
And I had no opinion whatsoever.
But talking about some of the things that happened in this episode, first you have. First, I want to talk a little bit about Angela because at first when she got into the whole music gig and whatnot, she was like, "I'm a child actor. I want to do this because I want to." It seemed like she was just going into it because she was naive about what was going to happen to her in the industry. But after seeing that talk that she had with her mom, is that her mom?
I'm not.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
You
I'm
talking
not
about
I think
the
that's her
fat,
mom.
That
you talking about the fat dude that looks like a woman?
Yeah, I think that's her mom.
I think it is.
But
maybe.
yes, they had the conversation where her mom was saying that I too was a child actor. By the time I grew up to be 20, nobody remembered me. So it's kind of like Angela's living out her mother's dream. So it's not
Yeah.
just because she wants to do this. It's like she has the pressure because of her mother. And we see a lot of bad mothers in this show because Tuesday and her mother, she basically is like, fine, Tuesday. Just make sure it doesn't make any media noise. I'm trying to be a politician. All right. You know, it's no urgency at all. It's just her bottom line, really.
Mm-hmm.
And
Her political
the last
career,
thing,
rather.
yeah, really. And the last thing I want to touch upon a little bit is Carol and Tuesday are kind of like, it's weird because we're in this futuristic society, but they're kind of like retro revolutionaries because
They are.
they,
Mhm.
yeah, they're they're going back to the roots of music where you're playing instruments. We see it in the laundromat where they don't have any instruments there, and that's not something you can do with computers. You can't just fucking do what they were doing. And then the guy in the middle joined in. That just goes to show you like how how organic music should be. But
Mhm.
the way everything is in this society, I think the guy said 99% of their music is not like made like automated and just made through computers and shit. So Carol and Tuesday are going to be that 1% where their music is traditional and made from the heart rather than from a computer screen.
Etchy Nut says Carol and Tuesday wins KOA. I'm calling it now. We'll see. But yeah, no,
We
I
shall see.
as a person who was in the music industry for I don't know like 6 months, and a person who writes music to drum tracks that are made by a computer all the time, and a person who uses background music in videos that are computer generated completely. This is a future that we're already here. This is already happening, which is kind of a shame. And this is, I think I said this last week maybe, but this is one of the reasons why rock music is on its way out, is because of this very thing. Everything has become computer generated, computer automated. You're not playing with people anymore. You're playing to a computer. And I like how they kind of tackled that a little bit in this episode. Well,
Yeah.
this whole series is really tackling that. And
Yeah, I think this whole series is definitely a testament, and it's also kind of a message to the music industry as a whole.
like,
Yeah.
which is funny because I have a feeling the way they wrote this music is not the way these girls in the show write the music, but
Probably not, to be honest.
I imagine it's just, well, maybe there's still a good chance of they hire, it's Benny Sings is doing the music for this, and they may have a writing partner or two, and they just jam out stuff like this. And I want to touch on the scene in the laundromat where they come up with a song right on the spot, and it has to do, all the lyrics has to do with what's happening at that point in their lives. Even has some lyrics referencing what you look at when you see a laundromat, all the clothes turning. That's music. That's how music is made, which is, I love how they were able to convey that. That's such a beautiful thing, and something I greatly appreciate, because that's how I've written songs before. Is I hear something. I hear something in the background, just knocking something up against the wall or whatever, or
getting knocked up against the wall.
Or somebody drops something, and the way it bounces, it makes a little bit of a beat, and you turn it into something. I've done that countless times, actually, and I really like that. This is my favorite part of the show, is them actually playing music together.
Oh yeah, of course. Karen Tuesday are like peanut butter and jelly. Like they just go great together.
Yep.
And fuck. It was something else I wanted to mention. First, I just want to call the DJ Ertegun. Is that his name?
Something like that. Arte or Erte.
He's such an asshole.
He's a rock star, of course.
God.
Yeah.
He's just like
star mentality.
That's how they act. It's
Mhm.
legit how they act. He first thing he does is meets the girls, and he proceeds to take off his robe and start doing push-ups. Because that's what rock stars do. That is rock stars have the ultimate freedom. They can do whatever they want. He has a bunch of girls out there. Why? Because he's a rock star and he can do whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah, I just love that. Just these girls are probably in their teens, and yeah, let's just get fully, well, not fully, but like partially naked and do push-ups.
Yeah, I mean that's a do not be fooled. This is not some artistic representation of how a rock star acts. That is how a rock star acts. I have been around people who act like that. Not exactly, certified rock stars, but
Was that you?
no, it was a long story. It was a long story.
Another time.
Another time, definitely. That's how they act, and this show, like I said before, it's very accurate, even though it's set on Mars. And also, another little tidbit: they give tidbits each episode about Alba City and Mars in general. It's been 50 years since they colonized Mars. Now I wonder, because in Cowboy Bebop, they colonize Mars because a disaster happens on Earth, and I think, did a disaster happen on Earth in this?
We don't know.
Yeah, they never said anything.
It makes me wonder if this is set in the
same
Cowboy
universe.
Bebop universe.
Yeah, that would be
We just see Spike have a cameo somewhere.
If Spike had a cameo in this, I would literally just lose my penis.
All right.
Oh, you're gonna end up like Yakimaru.
You're good
Or
at
I'm gonna be like Grey Worm.
Oh.
I know. He's probably gonna die tomorrow.
There's some funny things in this that's kind of like referential from like a bygone era of pop music. Carol and Tuesday are forced to go take these meditation classes, I guess, by Gus, and they're like,
Yeah.
"What is this?" Like, and that's a thing.
What do they keep saying? Ascension?
Yeah, ascension.
Ascension.
Pay attention.
They also mentioned a couple things like, they mentioned Motorhead for one. Motorhead,
Yeah.
rest in peace, Lemmy.
Yep.
Brian
The Ace of
Epstein.
Spades.
Brian Epstein, who's the guy who made the Beatles. Like, he is undoubtedly, without Brian Epstein, the Beatles would not be around.
Mhm.
Not only that, but didn't Brian commit suicide after he was fired by the Beatles? Or am I thinking of a different person? Or am I thinking like, not Phil Spector, because Phil Spector is the guy who produced the albums. Yes,
I
Sasuke,
don't
do you
know.
know about the Beatles?
I know like 2 songs by the Beatles. But
Twist and Shout. Twist and Shout's a cover. It's not even a song they wrote.
they say the cause of his death was an accident. I don't know.
Also, Angela has her own jiggy. I don't remember what it is, but the robot just goes around all the time just yelling at Angela, 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 and I'm like, kill the robot now, kill it.
Not as cool as the owl.
Yeah, geez, awesome. It's her alarm
Oh
clock.
shit.
What was that one scene when, what was it? Angela was doing the
Oh,
and
yeah.
then and then like she tried to get the high note, and then like he threatened, I don't know, like we're gonna do like just to get her to hit the high note. He restrained her and then like put these sharp objects in her face, and she was screaming.
It's kind of dark, but like in a way, what she's doing with her vocal training, it's kind of, it's not the way to do it. You're not supposed to stress yourself at all, because it could, like, you could damage your vocal cords to a point where you can't sing anymore, or you'll have to have surgery, which I guess is what he wanted to do anyways. But yeah, I like that as well. The vocal exercises. Everybody does that. That's a thing that everyone who's a vocalist does.
So this is going to be it's kind of weird. The conflict in the show is like the society itself in a way, because they've built this up to where this is how music is. And I guess like the biggest opponent or whatever is going to be the manager of Angela. I think his name is like Tao or something like that. Yeah, I think that's his name. But yeah, he himself is kind of like a robot. He has like no emotions. He's like, when Angela walks in, he's just like, yo, like he barely speaks, and it's just like everything is by the books, and it's no real feeling with the music. It's just algorithms or whatever. And you have Carol and Tuesday who, they're making music the quote unquote right way. So they're going to have to fight against that at some point. And I think if Tao were to see them make it big and they have hit songs or whatnot, maybe he would change his mind, and that would be like a big thing, that he realizes that, humans can actually be talented in music. So yeah.
What are we giving this? This is a pass for me, of course. This is probably, I'm just gonna say, unless it's like randomly they're just like, yeah, Carol and Tuesday are now just fan service characters.
Yeah.
If that's the only way that this show's getting killed.
Favorite series of the season, pass.
Oh yeah, I'm so glad I picked this one, pass.
Kimetsu no Yaiba, episode 4. I don't know what this one's called. Tangerine passes by or slices the boulder in half and passes his test. He then leaves Nezuko with Urokodaki, but during his travels, he faces a couple demons that are trying to eat him, and then he runs into another demon. It's a demon that killed both Sabito and Makomo. Makomo, I don't know. And he uses this first time we see it, and it's beautiful. His water breathing technique to kill this demon that Urokodaki sealed away 50 years ago in I think it was the Meiji period, which is pretty nice little touch they have. And he avenges their death. What did you guys think about his water breathing? I thought when it was in the manga, I was like, oh, this is gonna be, whoo boy, this is gonna be animated really well.
I thought the animation was really good. Yeah.
It's kind of weird, but I like it. It is like it's kind of I don't really know how to describe it, but it feels cartoonish kind of when it shows up, but I think it's something I'll get used to.
Yeah, QRW6 says, remember when Tsurune had that bad taste? Carol and Tuesday are the only show of its genre that passed the longest so far in KOA. Glad you all like it. I forgot about Tsurune until now, so I'm not...
That got killed the first episode. That was glorious.
Yeah. But continue. I'm sorry. We're about to hit deadline, so we gotta speed this up.
Well, I liked in this episode that we had Tanjiro who saved the kid from dying, and then the kid gets saved, and he's like, "Oh fuck, I'm out of here. I'll just let him get eaten, and I'm a bounce."
Yeah, he literally says like, "I'm gonna let him deal with that kid, and while that's happening, I'm just gonna run."
Yeah, like asshole. But I mean, that kind of shows you like Tanjiro's growth. Like the training paid off, which I like to see. He killed a demon that ate over or exactly 50 or over 50 people, including the students of his master. His name, man, he needs a nickname. Urokodaki. I hate saying that name, but yeah, killed 2 of his students, or not 2, 14. Damn, 14. And then he said like 2 of them were exceptional. So that kind of shows you where Tanjiro is. He's a special kid because the other kid could not even cut through his skin. And he's not only fast enough to dodge his attacks, but he was able to cut through it after he did the breathing technique. So I'm just glad to see his training pay off.
Tanjiro's warding mask broke. I wonder if his warding mask breaking in this scene is going to play a part in the next couple episodes, as it was a pretty important thing. Like, hey, this will protect you on your travels, and it broke. Like,
yeah, I fucking forgot.
First use rather easily, but
yeah,
he did get hit by a giant demon hand. Which, man, talk about that demon. That demon was ugly, horrifying, and it opened its mouth. It had like a huge mouth, and it's like these arms were covering its head, and like to look up, the hands would like move his head in the direction he wanted to look. Ugh.
Yeah, pretty disgusting.
Almost as disgusting as the T-Rex, but in a different way.
Yeah, and I was going to say a different way.
How come people in this world have a bunch of scars on their face?
Yeah, we haven't gotten an explanation for Tanjiro's head wound. I'm not even sure what
he has
that
like
is.
a chunk of skin missing from his scalp.
He also has a bunch of skin damage on his hands too.
All them blisters.
I mean, he had literal holes in his hand at one point from using that sword.
Holy hands.
I feel like that's going to be brought up because I mean, maybe it is just like a creative choice to, you know, have your character stand out from other series or and whatnot. But I feel like that is kind of significant because I remember in a flashback with Tanjiro, he didn't have that scar on his head. And then we flash forward to the present and then he had it. And we see other kids with not the same mark, but they're scarred up too. It's just kind of weird to see like some of these kids have that scar. So I'm kind of interested in if that will be some important thing later on.
I like how he can literally, with his smell, he can almost literally technically see like this thread that leads to an opponent's opening. I like how they visualize that and put it into context of how that his abilities work. They're handling the show really well in terms of just explaining things like that. They explain the sense of smell really well. They explain the warding mask. They explain Urokodaki's warding mask, which is a special goblin mask that he created from his own spell. So we also learned in this episode that the demons hate the wisteria flowers. And do you guys watch the after credit scene?
Yes, and I see all the terrible banter when his sister's just like,
yeah. So
I'm like, what the hell is this?
It's really cute and just innocent, but they also at the end in that scene bring up the wisteria flowers, and Tangerine's like, I'm gonna bring you to the wisteria flowers after you get cured, and I'm like, oh, that's cute, because Tangerine kind of left her sister or his sister with Urokodaki, which is an interesting choice. I thought they were gonna travel together longer, but I guess not.
Same. Yeah. I thought it was going to be a situation. I thought, in fact, Nezuko was going to be more the fighter than Tanjiro. I knew Tanjiro was going to. I thought this training wasn't going to be for 2 years. That would kind of surprise me. I thought it was going to be a situation where he trains a little, but he still would have to rely on Nezuko to take out demons that were too much for him. But it seems like we're doing something different. I mean, Nezuko has to come back eventually, but it's kind of weird that she's been sleeping all this time.
Not even anything.
I like that. How everybody at the beginning of the season is going to be like, new waifu coming up, and then she goes to sleep for beginning of the series. Good job. I'm glad, because then we get less of the whole Nezuko waifu thing. because she's like 12. We also learned that the swords that they use are called the Nichirin swords, and they're made for the special magical steel, which is
Valerian steel.
Yeah, it's super cool. We also see the twins as well. Those twins are basically straight out of a Junji Ito manga. They're creepy. One's got white hair, one's got black hair, and their eyes are just a bunch of swirls.
It's the same thing.
They have like the anti-spiral eyes.
Yeah,
That
and
shit is creepy.
they use some nice Stanley Kubrick, kind of like Stanley Kubrick-esque shots to really focus on how creepy they are.
Forever and ever.
Forever and ever. Come play with us, Stewie. Forever and ever.
And then he kills them both.
I like this episode. What are you guys giving this? I'm giving this a pass.
Pass.
I gotta be honest. The animation is the only thing that's keeping this show together. Because honestly, other than that, it's an average shonen, and it's okay.
It is a shonen, straight up. Yeah.
But it is very bare bones, just average, in my opinion. Like there's nothing separating it.
I actually don't know if like they go further into it. So I'm not saying this based off experience. This is a hunch. I have a feeling they're doing it a very basic kind of shonen kind of story in the beginning because they're building up to more complicated stuff. That's my guess because it is strangely simple.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess that's not a bad thing, but at the same time, it's not anything different either. And that's kind of, it's not so much bothersome. It's in the middle of the road for me. So, but I'll pass it just because the animation itself is definitely what's keeping me watching it. Like when that whole sword attack happened with the water breathing, I was like, oh, that was beautiful.
I think that's a fair criticism. I think it's completely fair.
Yeah. It looked like old school Japanese style art, the way that it came out and just cut the monster in half. It was really nice. So pass.
Satsuki, what are you giving this?
I am passing it.
All right. Well, tell the people where they can find you.
Who's first? I can't remember.
EA.
Oh. So I'm really close to the microphone. You can't. No, I'm sorry. I won't do that to everybody. You can find me on Twitter. Usually, nowadays, I got back on Twitter. I'm still planning, and this is probably when Game of Thrones is going to end. But I'm still planning to do a podcast with Satsuki about
hell yeah.
And I said Satsuki, not Satsuki. About all the different seasons of Game of Thrones, which I think would be nice.
I'm gonna watch it.
You're gonna watch it even though you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. It's gonna be on the background when I'm doing something.
I mean, I watch you guys talk about Bunny Girl Senpai every fucking time, and I did not watch a single episode.
Oh, jeez, I'm sorry. That podcast near the end went in directions, man.
Yeah.
All I remember is like
EA was not happy with me. There's probably a reason why he hasn't invited me back on his channel.
No, we'll be doing it. They have.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. The movie, yeah. Anyways, yeah.
So you'll be coming back for the movie, and once you do that, we'll have ourselves a yabba dabba do time. We'll have a gay old time.
Satsuki the Savage.
Yes.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi. How are you?
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter. I frequent Twitter a lot. King Daniels Jr. and YouTube, of course. Actually, kind of like cutting back on videos, which is a good thing for me. Takes pressure off, but I'll get back to the grind eventually. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
We nailed that one. That was a great podcast. Thanks everybody for watching. If you haven't already, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe. Yeah, give this video a subscribe. I'll see you guys. Well, we'll see you guys next Saturday and Sunday, depending on when you're watching this. Another King of Anime podcast. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Johnny.